Alright, so I got a request. I'll do a comparison between the three Batmans I have. So here they are. I have the SHF right here, the Mezco right here, and then the NECA right here. So all three of them are 89 Batman, and each got his own pros and cons. Let's start off with the SHF. Well, let's take a look at the comparison. I mean, height-wise, the SHF, the Mezco and the NECA looks to be the same height, which is nice actually. I do like it because I was surprised. Usually their stuff are 7 inches, so I'm surprised this one is more of a 1/12 scale. And then here's the itty bitty tiny SHF one, so tiny. So let's start off with that one first. Wow, right off the bat you can see how ugly he looks. He does not look like Michael Keaton at all. There's no likeness whatsoever with this figure. And if you're wondering, I gave him a custom cape, so that's why it looks like this. The cape that it comes with, it's this one. Let me zoom out a little bit so you guys can see the cape. It is way too thick. You probably can't see it. Well, you kind of see the thickness of it. It is thick, and it looks nice. I mean, it's got that pattern on it, and it's got stitchings and all that stuff, and it has room for you to put in these two tubings. So when he's grabbing it, you could have him do the famous pose in the original movie when he first came out. He was going like this, holding on to the cape. But this thing is way too thick. It does not drape at all. It looks horrendous. There's no wires whatsoever running through it. I mean, if you have wire running through it, then you could say this is a articulated cape or for dynamic poses and stuff like that. But there's no wire running through it, so the whole thing does not drape properly. So it is a fail on a Figuarts. And then let's get a look at that likeness again. It looks nothing like Michael Keaton. Skin colors too white, and then the mouth looks nothing like him, and you could barely see the eyes. You can't even see them actually. You cannot see the pupils. You just see white dots there, and yeah, that is a poorly done figure. But as far as articulation, he is good though. I mean, he does have a lot of articulation points, all the ones that you expect from Figuarts. So you got the elbows, you got the torso. I mean, look at torso, has good range. Belt is on a separate piece, and then the legs can be lowered for you to get him to kick up. I mean, articulation, this guy is really good for SHF, but it's just there's absolutely no likeness to Michael Keaton at all, and the cowl does not even look like the 89 cowl either. The shape of it, the whole head shape of this cowl looks more like the 92 version, a little bit like the shape of it looks more like 92. But it seems like it's a hybrid of the two, because the 89 one is a little thicker. He's supposed to be a little rounder around the face, but this one's more narrow, lengthier. So yeah, it does not look like him at all. And this one does come with an extra head sculpt, but yeah, the eyes are just as bad as this one versus this one. I don't even know which one is which, because one is looking towards the side. I think this one's looking towards an angle, and this one's more straight on. But yeah, they are both terrible. Yeah, but something cool about this is that it has the emblem where you could actually attach the cowl to, so it keeps it intact, kind of like how they did in the film, where they put the cowl on and then they put the emblem on top to keep it in place. So SHF did that exactly. So you can see how the emblem is attached to the chest without any issues. So yeah, I think if the eyes were repainted, maybe he would look a little better. More of a generic Batman. I wouldn't really call it the 89 Batman because it does not look like him at all. There's no likeness there at all, but it is a good articulated figure. But as far as the head sculpt is really bad, and then the cape that's supplied by SHF is also really bad. Then next up, in comparison, we have the NECA one. NECA one looks alright. It does not look like Keaton either. The good thing about this cow is that the likeness, the sculpting of the cow is better. It has the texturing on it, kind of like the one in the film. And another good thing about this is that they actually sculpted the head as a separate piece that's inside. So granted, there's no hair, so if you pop the cow off, or if you pop the head off of the from inside the cow, you're not gonna get a Michael Keaton head sculpt underneath. You'll get portion of his face, but that's it. Likeness is, it's not there. I mean, you could kind of see it. No, you can't. Maybe the mouth a little bit. The lips maybe a little bit. But likeness is definitely not there. It's not as bad as the SHF. The cape is very cheap. You can see it's a see-through ones. It's kind of like your t-shirt type of material. But it does flow a little bit better than the other one. And you could probably go like that. And he's gonna look great, and he's gonna stay put too. The cape is somewhat softer, a lot softer than the other two versions. Like better than the it drapes better than the SHF and also the Mezco. So that in itself is quite good, but it is a cheaper material, and it's you could easily switch it out. You just need to pop the head off, and then the neck has a socket joint, and then you just need to loop that over his head, loop that over his neck, and then pop the cowl back on, and you'll have him with the cape. That actually pretty good. So as far as the articulation, you can see arms. It's kind of what you expect from NECA. There's a ball hinge joint there, a single jointed elbow, so goes there, and I believe this is a ball jointed wrist. And then as far as the torso, they did do a cut right here around the diaphragm area, and this piece of muscle piece is kind of how they did it in the film. Actually, they actually have a piece of rubbery plastic glued on top of the chest area, leaving the bottom portion open, so you could actually articulate his torso a little bit. You could actually move his torso a little bit without having to worry that the chest section will impede with the articulation. And then on the back, you kind of see how it's glued down. It's glued down all the way to the upper portion, and then this portion is left out for you to articulate this figure. And then we have ball hinge hips. So as far as rotating his legs, he can give you almost 90 degrees, and then a single jointed knee. Gotta be super careful with NECA stuff, because I don't know about this one, but I have had breakage with their joints, so I gotta be super careful from time to time. And then so ball hinge ankles. So articulation wise, this one is pretty decent. It's pretty much what you can expect from NECA. And overall, I do like this body. It is plastic, and the color is correct. It's more of a matte finish. It's how he looked in the film, which is nice. And then the gauntlets, glossy finish, which is nice. Then the belt, I think the color of the belt is good too. Then the emblem, of course, is correct. And yeah, overall. Oh, and this figure was hard to get. This, I think it was initially they sold it through eBay, I think, on with their online store. their NECA online store, the eBay online store, and they were taking pre-orders, and I think tons of people ordered this because there were like I think there were like thousands of orders of this because they opened it for a few days or something, and then thousands of orders came in for that one. And then after that, I believe it was packaged with the release of the '89 Batman film. It was the what did they call it? The Diamond Edition, I think it was. It was just a Blu-ray version of the '89 Batman, and then they packaged it with this, and it was being sold at Toys R Us, I believe. And then towards the end of the run, I think you could just buy the figure off of Toys R Us as well. So yeah, so there are quite a few times you would have been able to order this guy if you were wondering, during that time, if you were there are a number of few times you could have ordered this if you were following the news through their sites, and I think their social. I think they talked about it during the social media. So if you did follow them, you were able to most likely purchase this guy. And actually, now that I look at it from the side, I mean, it's not that bad. This cape is actually not that bad. I mean, it looks kind of cheap because it is a see-through type cape, but it drapes pretty nice. And if you pull it back like that, I mean, it's not gonna flare out everywhere. Even from the side, you can see it's not flaring out everywhere, and from the front, it looks decent too. So this is actually a very, very decent figure. So the real comparison is literally just these two, to be honest. I mean, the SHF is just so bad that you can't even compare it with these two. So I'm gonna take that out. And if you have these two and you're wondering, hey, because this head sculpt is so nice, maybe I'll put it on the NECA body. It's not possible, unless you're willing to damage one of them or both of them, depending on how you want to do it. Because if you remove this head, there's a neck piece that sticks out. The whole neck is there with the socket joint, and if you remove this one, you can see this one is magnetized, so underneath there's a piece of magnet, and the inside is filled up. Most likely you're gonna keep this as is, and if you keep this as is, then you're gonna have to cut out the neck piece of this one in order for you to sit this on top of it. And I don't know if anyone is willing to do that, because this Batman is quite pricey now, and if you have it, I'm sure this is in your collection and looking fantastic, and I don't think anyone would want to mess with it. So yeah, for this to go on, you would have to chop the neck off and put this on top, which I don't think anyone is willing to do. But I could Photoshop this on there and see what it looks like. Actually, I think this moment I will have a photo of the head on top of this body, just so you guys could see what it looks like. And I think overall, I mean, when I'm filming this, I don't exactly know, but I think the head sculpt is actually pretty good on this body. And cape wise, I might do a custom cape and give him a cape that looks a little nicer and it flows a little bit better. That'll be good for this Batman, and I think that could be the ultimate version of this '89 Batman. Granted, if you don't like the silicone. If you're okay with the silicone, then you're probably just gonna keep it as is. But if you worry about the silicone, and then if you have this Batman, the NECA Batman, then maybe that's the way to go for you. But you're already spending so much money, I don't think anyone would actually destroy a Batman just to create a custom one. I don't know, I mean, some people might. And given the Mezco Batman came with 4 head sculpts for cowls, you could use one of them and put it on the NECA if you want. or you could just destroy one of the NECA ones. I mean, one of the Mezco ones. Take the insides out. I don't know how I would do that though. You'd have to take the magnets off and then probably Dremel through it or something. Yeah, Dremel through it and then to the thickness of that neck and then just pop it on there, I guess. So there you have it. There's the comparison between the three 1989 Batman from SH Figuarts, Mezco, and NECA. So which one's your favorite? Mine, I think, yeah, with the likeness, I think Mezco is the one to go for. But I am happy that I have the NECA one, because that one helps fill that void I have with articulation and stuff like that, without having it being, without having the body being silicone. So I am happy about that, but likeness is definitely not there. The likeness is definitely Mezco. Mezco is definitely the way to go with the likeness. Overall, I do enjoy all three of them. Maybe not so much with this one. I might end up repainting this. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. So there you have it. There's the comparison between the three Batmans from the 1989 film. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.